So first of all, let me share the video from Tata Class Edge. We'll watch that video once and then we'll move ahead. Sir, today I have to give presentation. Can I start? Aditi Jain is asking something. Wait, Aditi. Now let me share this video once. Let us start this lesson once and after some time I'll allow you to speak. Is the screen shared?
Yes, sir.
Who will navigate? Who will keep on telling me? Did I give this responsibility to someone?
Sir, to Nilay.
Nilay, but Nilay doesn't seem to have joined the class yet. So somebody else may tell. Pujit, unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
playing and I'm putting myself on mute. I'm turning my camera off because this causes distractions. Okay. And then I'll share. If it doesn't work, you can stop me.
Yes, sir.
James Faulkner Kirkup was
Sir,
a
the
British
voice is
poet, travel
breaking.
writer, translator, and playwright. His first volume of poetry, The Drowned Sailor,
Okay.
was published in
Let's
1947.
see if it corrects after some
Thereafter, he
time, or
wrote
otherwise there will
profusely
be
in English
subtitles. You can
literature
start reading also along
before
with it.
switching to Japanese poetic forms like haiku. He was a noted translator of Japanese poetry. He was also a well-known travel writer. In 1950, he was awarded the Atlantic Award for Literature by the Rockefeller Foundation. He became a Fellow of the Royal Society of Literature in 1962. In 1992, he won the Scott Moncrieff Prize for Translation. In No Men Are Foreign, James Kirkup shows different ways in which men are similar. Here is the summary of the poem No Men Are Foreign by James Kirkup. In the poem, James Kirkup emphasizes on the theme of equality between men from all parts of the earth. Through several stanzas in the poem, he fosters the image of humankind united by their similarities. In the first stanza, he states how all men share the same earth and the same body. So, in this stanza, he asks the reader to remember that no man is different, nor the countries they inhabit unfamiliar. Kirkup then uses the word uniforms to depict different castes, cultures, religion, and color that men might belong to. However, he asks them to remember that under different uniforms, they all share the same body and the same earth. Kirkup, in the second stanza, continues with this theme by stating that all men share the same sun, air, and water. They all find sustenance from the crops they grow and starve equally after a long war. Also, Kirkup notes, if you look closely, you will find the same lines of labor on hands that look the same. Kirkup continues listing similarities between men in the third stanza by saying that all men share the same eyes and sleeping habits. They also share the same strength and the same emotions. He concludes this stanza by saying that one will always find men living the same life in every corner of the earth. So, Kirkup asks the readers to remember all these similarities when they are told to hate their brothers. In such a scenario, Kirkup states that it is not a stranger that we betray or hate when we fight them. Instead, since we are the same, it is we who betray ourselves. Kirkup believes that all men are the same, so when one man fights against another, he is fighting against himself. Then he states that when we spread hatred among ourselves and choose to treat someone differently, we do not just degrade ourselves, but also the earth. Our wars pollute the air that we all share. Kirkup now comes full circle when he repeats the first line. This line re-emphasizes the overall theme of equality. Kirkup also uses the line to give a final reminder to his readers to always remember that they are part of a global brotherhood where, despite differences, everyone is the same. In the poem, the line, "The land our brother walk upon is earth like this," is an example of simile. A simile, through comparison, shows the similarities between two different objects. Kirkup uses simile to show the similarity between men from different places. An enjambment is a form of poetic device where a line goes over to the next line without any punctuation. The line, "Remember we who take arms against each other, it is the human earth that we defile," is an example of enjambment. James Kirkup repeats the word "remember" throughout the poem. He uses this strategy to constantly remind the reader of the similarity between men and that they inhabit the same earth. Refrain is a poetic device where a poet repeats one line in a poem to emphasize on the musical quality of the poem. The line, "Remember, no men are strange, no countries foreign," is used in the first and last line in the poem. By repeating this line, Kirkup provides a symmetry to the poem. He also reminds the reader of the importance of equality among men. This poem has no rhyme scheme, since it is written in free verse.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, there was not good clarity in the audio, but the content or the concept is clear perhaps. What have you understood? Can somebody share a little bit? Anyone? Anything that you understood. I'm not asking you to explain the poem completely or tell everything right, correctly. You might have misunderstood, you might have understood something wrong, you understood something correct. Whatever you could make out from this explanation, share with the class.
Sir, he talked about the unity, that no one is foreign. We all are same.
Did he talk about unity or did he talk about the similarity in all human beings? Wherever we live, whoever we are, whichever country we belong to, whichever caste or creed we belong to. But yes, there are so many similarities amongst us. We all are similar, right? Do you want to say this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. This is what is the essence of this poem. That though we may be belonging to different places, different countries, we may be following different religions, we may be the followers of different modes of worship, we may be using, speaking, communicating in different languages, we may have different skin tones, skin colors, we may have different habits. Still, the basic structure is same. The basic way of life is same. The basic needs are same. What are the basic needs that are similar in all human beings? Can you share?
Water, air,
Food.
Sir,
Water,
sun,
air, food.
air, water.
Okay. As you said, water, air, food, and the energy from sun, solar energy. If a person is born in America, does he need a different kind of water than a person who is born in India?
No, sir.
Does a person born in New Zealand or Australia need a different kind of water to drink? Yes or no?
No, sir.
Not at all. Now, food. Food habits may be different. We are fond of eating chapatis, bread made of wheat flour. Somewhere else, people may be fond of eating rice. Somewhere else, people may be fond of eating fruit or something else. Somebody has sent a message. Nakul, my name in the attendance. I am not there during attendance because of network problem. Okay, I'll see. I have not yet taken attendance, beta. Nakul, your name is there in the attendance. Unmute your mic.
Yes, sir.
Your name is there in the attendance.
Sir, I'm just now joined the meeting.
You are Nakul Agrawal, na?
Yes, sir.
Your name is there in it.
Okay, sir.
Chalo, let me save attendance once. Then I'll save after some time once again. What are we talking? Food habits may be different, but yes, we eat food, and that too is similar. We drink water, that is always similar. We work, and every human being, wherever we live, uses his hands to work. We have got similar kind of gestures. We have got similar kind of holding habits. We have got similar kind of uh, tiredness after working hard. We have similar fatigue after working hard. We feel in the same way. Everybody feels the pain in the same way. Everybody feels affection, love in the same way. There is hardly any difference. So poet has tried to convey one thing, that yes, we all are same, we all are similar, there is no difference. We are unnecessarily calling ourselves, considering ourselves different from others, and then we are creating lines, creating boundaries, constructing walls of separation, and we are separating from others. We are finding causes to get away and get separated. But basically, there is nothing like that. This is what he is trying to convey through this poem. Now, I'll share the poem here. But before that, two students who were left for presentations and who had given their names earlier, who are these two? They are asking for the permission. Who are these two children?
Aditi Jain and Shyam Meena.
Aditi Jain and Shyam Meena. Beta, I'm just giving you 3 minutes each. Quickly come up, do it, finish it. Then I'll come back to the lesson. 3 minutes each. Quickly.
Sir, can I start first?
Yes, yes.
Om Shri Saram. I am Aditi Jain and I am going to present the chapter The
Is
Lost
it
Child by
possible for you to turn your video on?
Sir. I have no web camera.
Okay. Chalo. Continue.
I am going to present the chapter The Lost Child by Multaz Anand. Uh, in this chapter is about a little child who is guided by his parents to a village fair. The child was attracted to so many things in the fair like toys, dragonflies, balloons, sweets, etc. Thrilled by all these things, he lagged behind his parents. His parents constantly kept watch over him. He wanted to on them all, but he knew his plea would not be heeded, and his parents would refuse to buy him anything. So, without waiting for an answer, he moved on with them. He was immensely attracted by a roundabout in full swing. He made a bold request for a ride on a roundabout. There was no reply. When he turned round, he could not find them anywhere. Panic stricken, he ran here and there, search of his parents, crying in real fear. Mother, father, he realized that he is lost. He feels absolutely desolated. A kind-hearted man picks him up in his arm and tries to console him. The person offers him all those things which he wanted earlier, but now the child does not want anything. He just sobbed, I want my father, I want my mother. The central idea of this chapter is parents are most valuable for a child. No doubt, parents do not fulfill all the demands of a child, but it does not mean they are not the well-wisher of the child. And if they say no for anything, it means it has a positive meaning. Because they they uh, they say no by their personal experience. And the best part of the story, according to me, is when the child is lost and he just only wants his parents. That's it, Siren.
Okay, beta. Now, who is the other boy? There was one more.
Sir, can I present?
Yes, yes.
Om Shri Sairam. I going to presenting a Kathmandu chapter by Vikram Seth. Kathmandu is a writing of the one most of famous Indian writer in the English Vikram Seth. In this lesson, he gives a very clear picture of the peoples of Kathmandu, the capital of a Nepal in a Himalaya. He got a cheap room to stay and the next day visited the places with the Mr. Shah Soon. She visited to the famous Pashupanath temple and the Buddhist stupa. In the Kathmandu, there are a square and loudly to the Hindus and the Pashupanath temple is a crowd and places where only the Hindus are allowed to enter and priest, monkey and dogs.
Ram, beta, can you not open your camera?
Sir, they are having some problem in my camera. So sir, I could not open.
Chalo.
But they show a lot of respect the royal families of Nepal. In the contract at the Buddhinath temple, there is a sense of the stillness. There are small shop on the outer edge of the roads around the white dome of the stupa in the silent places. According to the Seth, Kathmandu is a region and a business center. There are some many narrow streets after visiting Kathmandu. He left he left by flight as he was tried. He liked the flute and the music it produced its views. Its own association flute music is the closest in the human voice because it is a force is a living breath. Thank you, sir.
Rama,
Yes, sir.
the list that you have sent to me doesn't include these two names. So just after that, type these two names and send. Okay. So that I will have that in my record that these two students have also done. Otherwise, I may
Okay,
forget.
sir.
Okay, beta. Just type these two names afterwards on the same that message. है ना? You don't need to send that whole thing once again. Just type the names in WhatsApp.
Welcome to our channel. I'm Chahat and today we are going to start a new poem that is No Men Are Foreign. Acha. Imagine what would happen if there are no borders. कोई border ही नहीं है, कोई country नहीं है, हम सब इकट्ठे रह रहे हैं. ऐसे
Sir, the voice
कुछ
is
इस poem
breaking.
में
Sir, voice is breaking.
We'll see for 1 or 2 minutes. If it continues to break, I'll stop.
Now let's start with the introduction of the poem. The title No Men Are Foreign means that no men belong to another country. कोई भी इंसान किसी और देश से belong नहीं करता है. The poet wants to say that all men are same. सारे के सारे men, सारे के सारे humans जो है वो same है. All men are equal. He wants to promote the concept of universal brotherhood. इस पोएम के अंदर जो पोएट है उसने यूनिवर्सल ब्रदरहुड के कॉन्सेप्ट को प्रमोट करने की कोशिश की है. मतलब कि भाईचारा, कोई भी देश नहीं है, कोई बॉर्डर्स नहीं है, सब के सब ह्यूमंस हैं at the end of the day. In this poem, the poet wants to tell us that everyone in this world is same. हर कोई इस दुनिया में सेम है, ना कोई बड़ा ना कोई छोटा. All people, all men are same. They eat, live and die the same way. सभी लोग एक तरीके से ही खाना खाते हैं, एक तरीके से रहते हैं और एक ही जगह जाकर दफन हो जाते हैं. Everyone gets the bounties of nature like sunshine, land in the equal measure. मतलब कि जो नेचर है वो कभी भेदभाव नहीं करता कि मैं इसके ऊपर कम सनशाइन डालूंगा और इसको पानी थोड़ा कम दूंगा तो हम क्यों. So now let's begin with the poem. The first stanza is Remember, no men are strange, no country is foreign. No men are strange, no country is foreign मतलब कि कोई भी आदमी अजनबी नहीं है और कोई भी कंट्री पराई नहीं है. Beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes. और जो यूनिफॉर्म हम डालते हैं, कोई भी यूनिफॉर्म हो, उसके अंदर जो बॉडी है वो ह्यूमन रेस ही है. Like ours, the land our brothers walk upon is earth like this, in which we all shall lie. और जिस धरती पर हमारे भाई मतलब अलग अलग कंट्रीज के लोग जिन्हें हम पराये समझते हैं वो चल रहे हैं, वो धरती भी तो सेम ही है और हम सब एक ही जगह एक ही अर्थ पर इकट्ठे क्यों नहीं रह सकते. They too aware of sun, air and water. They too aware of sun, air and water. मतलब कि जो नेचर है वो भी तो उन्हें सेम ही चीजें दे रही है. सन की सनशाइन, एयर और वाटर वो भी उन्हें इक्वली दे रहे हैं, तो हम क्यों ऐसे भेदभाव करते हैं. Are fed by peaceful harvest by wars long winter starved. मतलब कि जब वॉर नहीं होता और हर जगह शांति, पीस और हार्मनी होता है, तभी उस टाइम पे हम जो हार्वेस्ट करते हैं वैसी खुशहाली होती है. लेकिन वॉर के टाइम पे क्या होता है, कोई जगह पर पीस नहीं होता, हर जगह पर वायलेंस एंड वायलेंस, और जो हार्वेस्ट है वो भी नहीं होती. तो वो बोलते हैं कि जो लोग हैं वो स्टार्व करते हैं. स्टार्व का मतलब है भूख के कारण बिलखते हैं. Their hands are ours and in their lines we read a labor not different from our own. और वो सेम ही चीज खाना पकाते हैं, वो सेम ही चीज खाते हैं जो हमारे कंट्री में बॉर्डर्स पर है, उन्हें तो कई बार खाने को भी नहीं मिलता. Remember, they have eyes like ours that awake or sleep and strength that can be won. मतलब उनकी जो आंखें हैं वो भी तो हमारी तरह अलग है क्या? नहीं ना. उनकी आंखें भी हमारी तरह है, वो हमारी तरह खुलती है और बंद होती है सोते वक्त. My love in every land is common life that all can recognize and understand. और लैंड के ऊपर हर एक को सेम जिंदगी दी गई है, सेम तरीके से वो सांस लेते हैं, सेम तरीके से वो सांस छोड़ते हैं. Let us remember whenever we are told to hate our brothers, it is ourselves that we shall dispose, betray, condemn. मतलब कि सोचो, याद करो कि जब हमें कोई कहता है कि हमें लड़ाई करनी चाहिए या उनसे हमें दुश्मनी करनी चाहिए, तो हमें क्या सोचना चाहिए, जो ये हम खुद ही तो है वो, मतलब जो ह्यूमन रेस है वो सेम ही तो है. Remember, we who take arms against each other. हम एक ह्यूमन रेस, एक ह्यूमन दूसरे ह्यूमन को मार रहा है, जबकि सेम तरीके से वो सांस ले रहा है, सेम तरीके से वो बोल रहा है, और जो नेचर भी तो नहीं कर रही है कोई डिस्क्रिमिनेशन. इट इज द ह्यूमन अर्थ दैट वी डिफाइन. Our hells of fire and dust outrage the innocence of air that is everywhere our own. Remember, no men are foreign and no country strange. इसमें क्या बोलता है कि जो ह्यूमन अर्थ है, मतलब कि जो अर्थ पे हम लोग रह रहे हैं, हम उन्हीं को धोखा देंगे ना अगर हम अपनी ह्यूमन रेस को ही मार रहे हैं. Our hells of fire and dust outrage the innocence. और जो फायर, जो डस्ट है, मतलब कि जितनी भी वॉयलेंस हम में से निकल कर आ रही है, वो हमारे दूसरे ह्यूमन को नुकसान पहुंचा रही है. ऑफ एयर दैट इज एवरीवेयर आर ऑन. और जो हवा है, वो भी तो उसी हवा में सांस ले रहे हैं. और उसी हवा में अगर हम आउटरेज, मतलब कि गुस्से की अशांति फैला देंगे तो क्या होगा. रिमेंबर, नो मैन आर फॉरेन. कोई भी आदमी पराया नहीं है, कोई भी आदमी अजनबी नहीं है, और जो कोई भी कंट्री है वो फॉरेन नहीं है.
Yes, beta.
Sir, the voice is
Sir,
little
voice is
breaking.
breaking.
It's breaking.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Nothing is clear.
Sir, we can understand little bit.
Little bit. Here I felt it was quite clear and could be understood, but probably when it reaches you, it is distracted more. And so fine, I'm stopping it here. Okay. If it's
Sir,
not
it
working,
could be understood.
tell me one thing, beta. Shall I continue this video or shall I stop it?
Sir, you can stop.
Okay. What is this presentation audio? Just a minute. I have got one option here. I'm playing it once again with this. If it doesn't make any difference, tell me after 1 minute, I'll stop. I found
Yes, sir.
something here, presentation audio. Can you see this
Yes,
button? Perhaps this is visible on your screen. Presentation audio. So I have stopped it. Let me see what happens. Okay, it is muted. It is muted. Okay, then I'm stopping it. Now is the poem visible on your screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's come back to the explanation of this. No men are foreign. Foreign means somebody who doesn't belong to our place is foreign. And poet says that nobody is foreign. Why does he say that? We had a little discussion little while ago. We watched a video of Tata classes also, and this girl was also explaining on YouTube. Let's come back to this, but before that, there is this introduction box. What is given in it? Have you ever thought of some people as strange? Do you consider that these people, this kind of people, such people, this person, that person is strange? Strange means very different from us, very kind of peculiar. We don't understand the behavior of that person. Have we seen any such persons in life, or other countries as foreign? Do we ever think that such people, some people are strange, or some countries are foreign for us? We have many ways of thinking other people as different from us in many ways. We may call them different from us. We say that their dressing is different, their eating habits are different, their languages are different, their skin tone is different, their complexion is different, the way they behave, the way they talk may be different from us as them. They may belong to a different country or speak a different language. In this poem, however, the poet reminds us of the many ways in which we are all the same. This is a different kind of poem. Every time we have seen, we have considered, we have thought of other people as different from us. We keep on finding differences. Isn't it a general habit? If you see somebody, what do you do? What do you try to do? Or try to find out that how that person is different from you. This is what you try to find or check. But we do not have a habit of checking out how his other person is similar to us. This poet is doing that. For we are all human, and when we all are human, we all are similar. What he says in the very first stanza, remember, एक बात हमेशा याद रखो. What is that? No men are strange, no country is foreign. Neither any man is strange, very different from us, not at all similar. When you say strange, that means no similarity to you at all. But there isn't anybody in this world who has nothing similar to you. And there is no country in this world that is completely foreign, means completely different from yours. Beneath all uniforms means the dress up, the attire, the kind of clothes we put on. Those are all different, even in your own country. If you, on the basis of dress up, you consider countries as foreign or you consider people as strange, then in our own country, in India, if you see how many different types of attires are there. If you go to South, there is a completely different dressing style. If you come to the middle part of the India, there is a completely different dressing style. If you go to eastern part of India, different dressing. Northern part of India, different dressing. Western part of India, different dressing. You will find 15, 20 different types of dressings in India itself. If you differentiate them on the basis of dressing, then in our country, there are many countries. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Somebody, huh. If on the basis of dressing you say, in one country, India, we have so many countries. All are foreign. Now, if on the basis of food you say, again go to South, their food habits, their preparation of food is completely different. Come little upwards, it is different. Come to the central part of the country, it is different. Go to eastern part, it is again different. Go to northern part, different. Go to western part, again it is different. So if on the basis of food, preparation of food, eating habits, if you say, then again we are all foreign in one country. So these cannot be the basis of considering people or places as strange or foreign. Beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes. Single body means similar body. Differences are visible only when we see the clothes. But the structure of body is same. Wherever you go, whichever country you go to, there is a similar kind of body that breathes beneath all kind of dresses, all kind of uniforms. Like ours, the land our brothers walk upon is earth like this, in which we all shall lie. The kind of earth we are living on, the kind of earth we are walking upon, all the brothers on this earth, wherever you go, all are on the similar kind of earth. All are on the similar kind of land. They too, aware of wherever they live, Everybody is aware of sun. Everybody knows sun as the supreme source of energy. Everybody is aware of air. Everybody is aware of water. Are fed by peaceful harvests. Wherever you go, in whichever country you go, what do people feed on? What do they eat? The harvest, the agriculture. Everybody, everywhere is dependent on agriculture. Whatever is cultivated, then harvested. That harvest feeds everyone, fills the stomachs of everybody. By wars, long winter starved. By wars, long winter starved. They keep on struggling throughout the life. There may be times when it was difficult to work up, to cultivate, to grow. Then during those difficult times, people have struggled. Their hands are ours, and in their lines we read a labor not different from our own. When we see the lines on the hands, what is that? A labor not different from our own. What we read in these lines, if somebody has worked hard, the kind of tear we see here, the kind of hardness we see here, hardening of the skin, tanning of the skin, roughening of the skin, whatever we see, it is all similar. Means the signs of hard work and hard labor on your hands is same wherever you go, and everybody toils hard with the help of their hands only. Remember, they have eyes like ours that wake. Their eyes are not different from us. They have also got similar eyes that wake. Every morning they wake up, and when they wake up, they also open their eyes as we do. They also dream as we do. They also think for their lives, they also think for their future as we do. Or sleep, and strength that can be won. When eyes wake up, when I sleep, strength that can be won by love in every hand, in every land, sorry, is common life that all can recognize and understand. See, now the feeling, as in the very beginning, I was talking about how affection is felt, how love is felt, how feelings are experienced. All that is similar. If something is going on, if thoughts are there, if feelings are there, those feelings are recognized in the similar way. Those feelings are understood in the similar way wherever you are, wherever you live, whichever language you speak. Let us remember, whenever we are told, again remember one thing. See, this stanza began with remember, this stanza began with remember, again this stanza is beginning with remember. Let us remember, whenever we are told to hate our brothers, we are told somebody is guiding us. Somebody tells us. It is not an innate feeling. It is not a feeling that comes from within to hate somebody else. Yes, it is someone who instills this kind of feelings in us. So whenever we are told to hate our brothers, it is ourselves that we shall dispossess, betray, condemn. Remember, we who take arms against each other. If somebody else is telling us, we are influenced. And when we are influenced, who is doing all this? We are only doing. So we are responsible that we are getting influenced by such people who are trying to, to put on the feelings of hatred, dislike, enmity, where there should be the feeling of brotherhood, universal brotherhood, and they are somehow sowing the seeds of hatred and enmity, and we are letting them sow and then we are flourishing such seeds. So we are also responsible for all this. So we should dispossess all this. We should not be influenced by such people, because what they have done is fine, but we are taking arms, we are picking up arms, the weapons that we are picking to hit each other or to kill each other. So it is we who have done this, so we should not be influenced. It's already 3:45. I think the time's up. Let us stop. The remaining thing we'll do in the next class.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Read
sir.
this, read this poem at home once. Okay, you will understand. Watch the videos. And if something is not very clear, we shall discuss this once again in the next class. Okay. Chalo. So it's time to say Sairam. I'm stopping to record it.